My dear devotees, I know a very nice god brother of mine, His Holiness Krishna Chaitra Maharaj. When he was a student of academia, he was on a world tour and came to the Heidelberg temple. It was at a time when many of you were not yet born. And he met me. And he said, my head was red like a tomato, I was sweating, but I was full of bliss, and said to him, I have discovered a mystery, cleansing the temple of the Lord. And he said, can you show me? And I said, come with me. And I gave him a bucket full of water and a foidle, that's a cloth. And then he followed me in sweeping and cleansing the temple. He said at that time he thought of the book, The Zen of Repairing a Motorcycle. It's a book brought out in the Buddhistic tradition where the author says you can be in Satori, in Samadhi, even when you repair a motorcycle, if you are mindful in doing it. And he thought, okay, let me do the Zen of cleansing a temple. But after that cleansing of the temple, he decided to become a devotee. And he thinks it is because of this mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Cleansing the temple of the heart must be done in two ways. First, the dust and the sand, the gross things are taken out. But then, a second cleansing, which is much more subtle, must take place. And this second cleansing comes when the refreshing waters of Krishna Katha enter our ears. It comes mainly when we hear about Krishna, by hearing his wonderful pastimes, as we will do tomorrow, and by hearing the holy name. After the temple was one time cleansed, Mahaprabhu said, now we will wash the temple with water. There's a lake called the Indradumna Lake, where the devotees went with clay pots, and they took some water, the clay pots, out of the lake, and then they built a chain, and they handed the clay pots from one person to another. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes this water chain. He says many of the water pots were broken when people collided with one another, because there were so many devotees. And hundreds of men had to bring new water pots to fill. Some people were filling the pots and others were washing the rooms of the temple. But everyone was engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna and Hari. One person begged for a water pot by chanting the holy names, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna.
And another delivered a pot while chanting, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna.
Whenever anyone had to speak, he did so by uttering the holy name of Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. Consequently, the holy name of Krishna became an indication for everyone who wanted something. I think we will become the Hare Krishna movement when we come to this level. There's so much talk, especially internet talk. Maybe we should chant a little bit more. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was vibrating the holy name of Krishna in ecstatic love, he himself was performing the work of hundreds of men. So this is a little bit the Gundicha pastime. The water which came, which was washing the ceilings, was really like a river. Mahaprabhu was seen kneeling on the altar, and as he was wiping the altar and another devotee was pouring water, it was seen that the Lord cried in ecstatic love, and sometimes his tears washed the altar. He was so emotionally charged up that he infected all the devotees in the cleansing process, and they became ecstatic and threw the water by chanting Krishna, Krishna, Mukunda, Vanamali. And it said rivers of water came out of this temple and flushed the city of Puri because the temple was cleansed the second time. This second cleaning means to wash the heart free from the subtle contamination, which are described as 6. It is a desire for sense gratification, a desire for diplomacy, to cheat others and yourself. It's violence and intolerance towards others. And it is gain-seeking, that whatever you want, whatever you do, a gain-seeker thinks, what's in it for me? Prabhupada comments on this. On the second cleansing, he says, if a devotee at all wants to cleanse his heart, he must chant and hear the glories of Lord Shri Krishna. He says this is a simple process, and he says Krishna is there in the heart, and when he hears that someone becomes eager to hear about him and chant his glories, then Krishna himself, like Gauranga Mahaprabhu, takes up the work and purifies the heart. Prabhupada says, Krishna himself will help cleanse the heart, because he is already seated there. Krishna, Prabhupada says, wants to continue living within the heart. And the Lord wants to give directions, but one has to keep his heart as clean as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept the Gundicha temple. Have you heard this, my dear devotees? I almost feel like I have the full Botschaft for you, the Evangelium of Krishna consciousness. It's this: Krishna wants to continue living in your heart. You may think, my heart? Krishna wants to live there? I can't imagine. No, he wants to live in your heart. And the Lord wants to help you, but one has to keep his heart clean. Prabhupada says we cannot perceive the Lord's presence in our hearts unless our hearts are cleansed. And he says, devotional service, bhakti, means attaining peace from all disturbances caused by material contamination. Ah, my dear devotees, do you want peace? Yeah. I think yes. What gives us so much restlessness? It's the disturbances caused by our own material contaminations. In other words, it is the process, bhakti is the process by which the mind is cooled. You have hot minds, let it become cool. The mind can be peaceful and thoroughly cleansed when one no longer desires anything but bhakti. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu trained the devotees by his personal example. The Lord was very pleased with those who could cleanse the temple by taking out undesirable things. And then in the end, once the heart is cleansed, my dear devotees, we should invite Lord Shri Krishna to sit down, and we should observe